Okay, so game one, the thing that I'm looking at now is with your team, your anti-flyers, your Beedrill, and your Frostlass, and they both lose to Carcosta, so I'm going to lead that. Your Lapras, your Umbreon, and your Venusaur all lose to Zwelios, and I'm going to put Umbreon in the back just to see if you're going to bring a Beedrill and a pseudo combo or a Frostlass and a pseudo combo with something like an Umbreon and a Venusaur, basically trying to bring two things that counter each of my darks. So my first read that I'm making is I'm going to start with this lead to see if you're going to lead something like a Beedrill, even though I am predicting a pseudo, and I'm going to just start out with this and see what you do from here. So I predicted pseudo because that would be your safest against my team. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for a minute, build up some energy, and I'm going to swap into Umbreon so I can catch the Rock Slide. You didn't throw the Rock Slide. I know this is an Earthquake, but there's no point in shielding since Umbreon's so tanky. Now I'm hoping to see if you will flip into something else since you're losing this matchup now because of HP. And if you do, then I'm going to be able to see what you have for an Umbreon counter. And I'm guessing your back end, since you're not doing it, is something probably more like a Frostlass or a Lapras. That's not as hard of a counter to Umbreon. So I'm predicting that I'm going to be able to take the shield advantage here. So I'm not going to shield, and I'm just going to go for this foul play here. Let you rock slide me one more time. Foul play. And here you're either going to have to shield or you're going to lose the matchup because you didn't have enough HP. You lost the matchup. Now I get to see your next Pokemon and decide what I want to do from there. I see Frostlass, which is what I predicted because you did not switch into something to stop my Umbreon. So here I'm going to bring Caracosta with energy. And here I'm going to use one of my shields because I know something on your back end is probably now weak enough to Zwelios that I can Dragon Breath it and put some fear. I'm going to put the Surf down just to try to make it a situation where either you're going to shield or you're going to lose your Frostlass before you can really react. You decided to let it go, which was smart, but now you're in the Lapras, which actually Zwelios can win this matchup. So I'm just going to Body Slam for shield pressure and to take as much health off as possible so when my Zwelios comes in, I can just Dragon Breath down. So now I see that you have your anti-dark for your Umbreon is going to be the what's it called? Pseudo, and then your other ones are going to be Lapras, and you're going to bring something to stop Zwelios in the back because it seems like with your team you're super afraid of it. So here I'm not afraid for you to take both of them out because I can just Dragon Breath down, and that's an easy win. So right there on that matchup, I see, okay, so you're going to be bringing two counters to each dark at least, or you're going to lead one counter to one of my darks. So that's the read I've gotten off of that matchup. So now in this rematch, I'm going to move into something more traditional that would be able to stop that. So I'm going to go with my Pinsir because it beats Frostlass, it beats Sudowoodo, it beats Umbreon, and it beats Lapras, which I think are your most plausible leads since you like to leave something in the back for my darks. I am going to pull out Caracosta since it had such good matchups against Beedrill, Frostlass, Lapras. Can sometimes beat Sudowoodo endgame and can fight into Umbreon. And then I'm going to look and see with my team. I have nothing that really beats Venu that hard. So I'm going to bring Frostlass to be able to fill that hole. And I'm going to move into this game. So now I have your whole 6 covered in a way that I want them covered. So with Pinsir, I'm hoping for something like the Umbreon. I know Umbreon was going to come out. If you were going to bring it, you were going to bring it in the lead because you like to hide your dark counters in the back. So here I'm just going to keep going and try to get 2 X Scissors. And I'm not going to shield this because it shouldn't be able to kill. And then I'm going to try to put a lot of pressure on you. Whether you switch or not, I'm going to try to put a lot of pressure on you with X Scissors. So I'm going to X Scissor here. And you're probably going to shield the first one thinking it's a close combat. If not, I'm in good shape. You did. So I'm going to X Scissor here. And I'm going to try to take a second shield. And I'm going to see what you do from there. So here I see that you're going to shield. And at this point, I can either shield and try to go for the CMP, or I can let it go and take my shield advantage. I'm going to let it go because I feel you have counters to my dark types in the back. So I'm just going to try to get Carracosta some energy in case it has to fight Pseudo. I know it can tank one of these. So I'm going to go ahead and let it tank one. And then I'm going to try to get extra energy on it. And then I'm going to shield here and farm down. And worst case scenario, if I count that you're getting to another foul play, which right now I do not think you're going to be on pace, which you aren't. So now I'm going to look and see, okay, this is Beedrill. So I'm going to throw a Body Slam to take shield pressure and try to take that last shield. Knowing I have Veno in the back, this is important. So I'm going to Surf to try to get as much damage off, since I know, okay, in this scenario, I do not want Frost. I don't mind Frostlass in this, but I don't want it specifically. And here you have such low health, I can take this shield and save it for my Frostlass, because I feel like your back end's either going to be Frostlass itself or Pseudo, and it's Pseudo. So here I'm just going to Avalanche to try to take some damage off of you. And then I'm going to farm down with my shield. Actually, I'm not going to farm down. I'm going to move towards another Avalanche. I'm going to overfarm a little. You did not throw a move, so I'm just going to throw it now. Because I know, okay, here I'm going to kill. You're going to have no energy. And I'm going to move into Beedrill with a shield. So no matter what you throw, I'm safe. Here I'm expecting a bait if you throw anything. But it looks like you're not even going to throw anything. Probably trying to get up to a drill run because that was your only win condition at that point. We'll do one more. And then after that, I think you're going to flex into something that's going to be able to cover some of those. So I'm going to go back into my squad. I'm going to look. I think you're probably going to, since I led my Carracosta and my Pinsir, I think you're going to expect a Frostlass lead. So you're probably going to lead something along the lines of Lapras. So I'm going to leave Pinsir in the lead because Lapras is what I'm predicting. But I could also see like a Frostlass. I'm predicting Ice. One of the 2 Ice types. And so actually I'm going to move into Carracosta for the lead since I'm predicting either one of the Ices because that's most likely what you're going to bring. I haven't seen Venusaur yet, so I'm not expecting that at all. Beedrill in the back now is kind of a threat. So I'm actually going to move to put Zweilous in instead of Pinsir since it's so weak against your team if I have to switch into it. It's better as a lead, so I usually only bring it as a lead. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and look at my third. I'm going to look at my first 2, which is Carracosta, Zweilous. Carracosta covers Beedrill, Frostlass, Lapras. I don't have a counter to Pseudo. I have no real... I have a hard counter to Venu, but I think Venu's going to fit my team a little bit better since both of them can fight into Lapras and Beedrill, which are your 2 hardest counters to Venu. So that's how I'm going to fill out my team here. So in this game, you led Venusaur. That's fine. I'm going to flip into Venusaur to try to be able to, instead of giving my Zwillios up, because I think you're going to probably have something like a Sudowoodo in the back, I'm going to go ahead and shield this because I think you're going to Sludge Bomb, which, because I've said that either you're going to bait or not, and I feel like you're going to think I'm baiting. If not, I'm going to be down 1 energy. I'm fine with it. So right here, you shielded, which is smart. And I got a piggyback off right there, so now I know we're equal energy. I'm going to Sludge Bomb again, hoping that you're going to decide what I'm going to do next. So you do not shield. So I see that you didn't shield. I'm guessing you're going to bait just to try to be able to break the matchup a little bit easier, because at this point I'm now in the lead because I have more health. I'm going to Frenzy Plant, hoping you're going to shield. If you shield, then I'm just going to not shield. If you don't shield, I'm just going to take it. So I take that matchup, and I want to see what comes in next. What comes in next is Lapras. You're going to try to farm down, which I'm fine with because I have Carracosta. So I'm going to bring Carracosta back out. And now here I'm going to try to put some shield pressure on you by body slamming. I know Surf does a lot, and in this case I think I'm going to shield because I want to get Carracosta up energy before I decide to do anything. So right here I'm going to go ahead and get a couple more. I'm going to let this Surf through, obviously, because I don't have a shield. It won't be able to kill, but it will hurt a lot. And now I'm going to sit here and see, okay, so what is he going to do? Is he going to switch? Makes me think that you have something in the back weak to Carracosta. And you have Umbreon, which I'm fine with that, because now I can body slam twice and bring out Zwillios to finish. And so the lack of shielding there on the Lapras is what lost that matchup. Usually my predictions are more for the lead than the back side of the team, because now at this point Dragon Breath is just going to be too much. And I'm just going to body slam through until you last resort, last resort, last resort. You have to hit 3 of them. You can't kill me with just 2. So at this point, you're going to have to shield 1 of these body slams, or it's just going to go down anyway. So I'm going to body slam here. I'm going to Dragon Breath some more and body slam again, even though this body slam probably won't KO. Now the play here for you really is just to last resort and try to come out with energy, which in this matchup it's pretty hard to do. And right here I've basically secured the match because I figured you had something in the back, either something that doesn't fight into Carracosta well, just basically something that isn't a hard counter. Sudowoodo you obviously would have brought in to a point. So I figured you either had a Beedrill or Frostlass in the back, maybe Umbreon since it's such a close matchup. And so that kind of told me how to keep playing the matchup, how to keep the whole lead on you. It's one of those things that I've been able to notice, okay, so if I do this to you, your lead changes to something similar to this. And on that one, you actually did get me on the lead, but my back end was too strong to the Venusaur, having both the Venusaur mirror match and being able to call the bait, or to shield the Sludge Bomb and get the piggyback to be able to fight back. I knew at that point, okay, so you're probably going to bring in Lapras. The first game you brought in 2 Ice, so Frostlass isn't out of the equation. Sudowoodo would be hiding in the back. But I figure if Sudowoodo was in, then when I brought Carracosta out, you would have probably brought Pseudo in. And so that would have been the giveaway that it wasn't Pseudo. Beedrill I could have seen you going to because it's a harder counter. And it has good matchups against my team. So I figured Beedrill's probably not back there. So it was basically between either Frostlass or Umbreon at that point.